Tonight, YXS has launched a new project in collaboration with Lheidli. Plus, there are 2 new artists being featured at the Omineca Arts Centre. And the Prince George Cougars are riding high after a big weekend sweep of Seattle. Good evening, I'm Eddie Huband, and welcome to CKPG News. Our top story tonight is a major announcement for the continued reconciliation in our community. The Lheidli First Nation, the Prince George Airport Authority, and Tourism Prince George continue to strengthen their relationship with the launch of a new project taking place today. Adam Burles has the details.
It has been 1 year since the Lheidli First Nation and the Prince George Airport Authority signed their collaboration agreement. And on Wednesday, with Tourism Prince George as another partner, a new step was taken to solidify a strong partnership. The first phase of a new Indigenous heritage project was launched, looking towards historical acknowledgement and active reconciliation.
There's certainly a lot of opportunity here at the airport to educate travelers and make sure that everybody going in and out of this airport understands that they're in the welcoming territory of the Lheidli.
As part of the launch, there was a flag raising of a Lheidli flag that will permanently be outside of the airport terminal, as well as a new 4-panel Lheidli history display inside the terminal. President and CEO of the Prince George Airport Authority, Gordon Duke, says that this partnership could set a precedent.
I really do believe that movements like this and the collaborative relationship that we are building is a model for other airports to use. What we're proving here is that as a regional airport, we can still have meaningful reconciliation and reflect that in our facility.
With over 400,000 passengers traveling through YXS in 2023, Chief Darlene Logan says that the project will allow those who travel through YXS to learn more about their history.
That's a huge thing, because I've always said from the very beginning, take 5 minutes to learn about your the local First Nations, and for them to come here and it's getting recognition, right?
The Indigenous Heritage Project, Chief Logan says, shows what can be achieved when partners work together on the road to reconciliation.
It's recognition, and we're working together for, like I've said before, it's not just Lheidli for reconciliation. We all have to work together.
CEO of Tourism Prince George Colin Carson said that domestic and international travelers have shown an increasing interest in wanting to better understand the Lheidli and Truth and Reconciliation, and the first phase of this project works towards that. Adam Burles, CKPG News.
CKPG News is learning details of an apparent electrocution at a pulp mill here in Prince George. According to a source who does not wish to be identified, 45-year-old Gary Lefray was electrocuted at the Intercon Pulp Mill in Prince George back on January 31st. He later died from his injuries on February 11th. WorkSafe BC confirmed to CKPG News that they are investigating an incident on January 31st, but did not comment further because the investigation is ongoing. In a statement, Canfor says they're saddened to learn of the passing of Lefray at his home and that they're working cooperatively with authorities. He leaves behind a wife and a young son. And a quick note, Pattison Media is owned by Jim Pattison Industries, a majority shareholder in Canfor. Prince George RCMP are asking for your help in finding this dangerous person. 46-year-old Laura Desjardins is wanted on several counts, including uttering threats to cause death or bodily harm, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, 2 counts of a breach of undertaking, and 2 counts of breach of release order. Police say she's dangerous and should not be approached, and if you see her or have any information, please contact RCMP right away. And we do have her photo available by visiting our website, ckpgtoday.ca. In other local news, a centuries-old hobby is making a comeback right here in Prince George. As Dave Branco tells us now, concerns about regional food security has more and more people learning the art of canning.
Canning food has been around for hundreds of years, and the importance of it is resonating in modern times due to concerns surrounding food security, an issue that was front and center during the COVID lockdowns.
We asked people in our community what food security meant for them. And when we spoke with young people particularly, they said they wanted to learn how to preserve food, but that it had not been passed on to them. So it skipped a generation.
2 years ago, a group of volunteers formed the Prince George Canning Circle, where every week people learn the correct way to preserve food.
finding is that the internet is really a source of all kinds of dangerous information. So a lot of the teaching, and I'm sure these guys are finding that as well, a lot of the teaching is unteaching. It's telling people, no, don't do it that way, that's dangerous. And then in the process of doing that, then people learn how to do it safely. Yeah.
At the start of the new year, the Aboriginal Business Development Centre started hosting canning classes for those looking to pinch pennies as food costs started to go up.
The big thing is people find it's very easy. It's, I didn't think it was that easy to do. And I equate it to just any old household chores. It's like cooking a dinner. Once you get good at it, you can just do it every day. It's not a big deal. And the same with the canning, right? I mean, there's ample opportunities. Like our program runs throughout the days, typically Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
If you're interested in preserving the art of canning, contact the Aboriginal Business Development Centre or the Prince George Canning Circle through their website. They can provide all the necessary information and resources to help you get started. Dave Branco, CKPG News.
The Omineca Arts Centre has 2 artists in residency for February, and Tommy Osborne stopped by to not only meet the artists, but see what the monthly free workshop is like.
It was a full house at the Omineca Arts Centre last weekend, as the monthly free workshop saw great attendance from people who wanted to learn how to paint. Every month, Omineca's Arts in Residence hosts a free workshop along with working at the Arts Centre, so you can drop by and meet them. This month, there were 2 artists in residence, and given that both have a passion for nature, the workshop was all about landscape painting.
I look really closely at the landscape. I love it a lot, and I try to kind of love it into being on a canvas. And so I pay attention to my dreams and sort of wishy-washy things like that, but I also try to take a more hard-nosed approach to just observation and documentation of what I see.
People are doing important art about issues, and there's a lot of issues in the world, but somehow I always come back to painting landscape.
Beyond her love of nature, Jurgensen added she enjoys experimenting with what typically shouldn't work well, but comes together nicely once you put it on the canvas.
One of the main focuses here is color, because I've really been enjoying putting different colors together that don't always fit well together, but they work well in paintings.
For Hardiman, her love of nature also comes with a potential fear of losing it, which she says is reflected in her art.
As a person that's alive in a time of ecological catastrophe, I notice a lot of changes, and I think that it's the job of artists to witness those changes and to document them. Last summer there was a berry famine, there were the fires, there was the smoke. I had a yard full of bears all summer long, and I think a lot about what it must be like to be a bear, to not have the sort of buttress of, civilization to protect you.
While the workshop has passed, you'll still be able to see both Jurgensen's and Hardiman's art at the Omineca Arts Centre for the rest of the month. Tommy Osborne, CKPG News.
Hip-hop icon Ice Cube announced part 2 of his Canadian tour this morning with 11 new dates across Canada, including Prince George at the CN Centre. That's coming on Thursday, April 25th. How about that? Ice Cube first gained recognition as a member of the renowned hip-hop group NWA, but his departure from the group at the height of its popularity marked the beginning of a brilliant solo career in music. His solo albums have sold over 10 million copies, solidifying his status as a legendary figure in the rap industry. Fans can purchase tickets for the Prince George show off the Straight Into Canada tour on Friday, February 23rd.
Major celebrity over the last 30 years. In fact, right now he's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he's in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So both in music, acting, and sports, he's a very celebrated and recognized individual. So he's a huge factor in popular culture right now for the last 30 years. We haven't had an act like this in some time. Snoop Dogg was last here in 2007, and the first time he came through here in 2003, it was a sold-out event. But so we don't get many hip-hop artists coming through Northern BC. So you're kind of uncertain how this is going to be. But you're exactly right. We haven't had an announcement like this that has just energized the community in some time. So it's super fun to be part of. We've got lots of people contacting us in our office and the box office already. So we're expecting that the tickets will go very fast this week.
As of this morning, the lowest gas price in Prince George was sitting at $1.41.9 per litre at Costco. That also happens to be the lowest price in the province right now. Manitoba currently has the lowest fuel prices on average in the country at $1.24.9 per litre, while BC has an average price of $1.64.3 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Dominos. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
The T-Wolves men's basketball team is in Winnipeg tonight ahead of their first Canada West playoff game. The 12th-ranked T-Wolves will be going head-to-head with the 5th-ranked UBC Thunderbirds, their arch rival. The T-Wolves finished the regular season with a record of 9-11, advancing themselves to the Canada West playoffs for the 3rd consecutive year. This is also the 2nd time in program history that these two teams will clash in postseason play. During the regular season, the T-Wolves split their home matchups with UBC. On the first night, with the help of Chris Ross and his 28-point game, UMBC took the game 88-66 the final. That was followed up by a UBC victory 85-73 the next night. This playoff tournament is single elimination, so if you lose, you're gone. Whoever wins tonight at 6 o'clock moves on to play the number 4-ranked Manitoba tomorrow night. Go T-Wolves. And some other news now. Some of the duties for the BC Winter Games in Lataco-Quesnel are being shared with Barkerville now. In a release by the BC Winter Games, they say in order to improve racing conditions for biathlon and cross-country skiing events, the BC Games organizers have worked with the Barkerville Historic Town and Park staff to organize a day of racing at the historic site on Saturday, February 24th. Further to that, they say that athletes, coaches, officials, and other volunteers will be bused to the site. The games run from the 22nd of February to the 25th. The TSX is down 45 points to close at 21,172. The Dow Jones is up 48 points to close at 38,612. And Canfor went down 6 cents to close at $16.35.
Good evening again, everyone. We're going to see a pretty good day going into our Thursday, but taking you back from earlier today, again, starting things out a little cloudy, clearing through the day, and that's the trend we'll see again tomorrow. So nothing really happening where we are. We're still seeing a ridge that's over us right now, down through the southern part of the province. Really, the southwest is where we're getting most of the action there, but still some precipitation creeping into parts of the southern interior earlier today and maybe even tomorrow as well. But our futurecast looks pretty good as we move through the next 48 hours. It changes though, so you can see there on Friday, that's when we're going to see a shift in our conditions. So looking at a chance of flurries in the mix on Friday and even that snow or rain going into the weekend. So it's really through the later part of or the earlier morning on Friday and then carrying through the weekend, that instability. Milder temperatures still for the next few days, but we are going to see a shift in our temperatures quite significantly later into the weekend and going into early next week. We have a colder air mass coming down, some Arctic air moving in. 3 degrees for our day tomorrow, though. We'll enjoy that with some sunshine through the afternoon after we get rid of that fog, the fog dissipating into the morning hours. 6 degrees, Fort St. John. This is significant. Of course, normal temperatures in Fort St. John are sitting usually around -5 for daytime highs, so that's a real big jump and above average for sure. And a really mild trend everywhere we look, south of us as well. So our broadcast region looks sunny tomorrow through the afternoon hours especially. Little bit of cloud cover though to start in some areas. 2 in Vanderhoof, 5 in Quesnel and McBride, so very mild temperatures for sure. West Coast looks beautiful tomorrow, and again, expecting things to change a little bit. Everybody's going to get cold as we go into the later part of the weekend, but again, we'll take these nice milder temperatures for a few more days. 7 degrees in Edmonton, across the country looking not too bad, sort of that back and forth weather in some areas, but really fairly mild or right where we should be for this time of the year in most areas. Snow or rain, though, into our weekend, as I mentioned. So we'll slowly start to see things cool down, and then you'll see a big difference in temperatures as we move into Sunday night, down to -18. So that's the colder trend, the Arctic air that's moving in. Tonight, -13. We'll see a high of 3 tomorrow, a little afternoon snow Friday, but you'll enjoy sunny sky tomorrow. In Mackenzie, mostly clouds tonight, down to -4, up to +1 tomorrow, even milder on Friday, and then a big change as we get into early next week or even Sunday night especially. So some snow on the way for sure, and it looks like it'll stick around with the colder temperatures persisting. McBride, -8 with mostly clouds tonight, partially sunny skies tomorrow, and then you've got some precipitation coming with that next system. Quesnel as well, looking at some moisture Friday, Saturday, dry but colder on Sunday, and especially early next week, really cool temperatures. -9 for us, partly cloudy. We've got fog overnight into the morning, mostly sunny in the afternoon. There's the shifting conditions on Friday. Going into the weekend, Sunday night is when we start to see it cool down.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Dominos. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
The Cougars had no difficulty sweeping the Seattle Thunderbirds over the past 2 games in a great weekend of hockey last weekend, sending them to the top of the Western Conference once again as we head down the stretch of the season. Caitlin Pobersnick has the scoop on the Cougars and what's going down around the league.
The Cougars came out hard in Game 2 against the Thunderbirds with an early lead power play goal courtesy of Riley Height, who got his 31st of the season. That was followed up by a Zach Funk shot to extend the lead to 2-0, and after some back and forth action, the final score in the first was 3-1 for PG. After being in the right place at the right time, the second period would be a record-breaking one for Zach Funk as the 20-year-old notched his 23rd power play goal of the season, beating the franchise record formerly sitting at 22, courtesy of alumni Chase Wheatcroft. That power play goal brought the scoring to 4-1 for PG, and that's where they sat until the third period when Parasak netted his 32nd goal of the year, sealing the 5-1 victory against Seattle and making it the team's 6th consecutive win at home. Josh Ravensbergen finished the night with 20 saves on 21 shots and securing his 21st win of the season. Prince George currently sits at the top of the Western Conference, but only 1 point ahead of the Everett Silvertips and 2 points ahead of Portland. With only 12 games left in the regular season, these games will be crucial for the Cougars to stay in that number 1 spot. Cougars hit the road for their next 2 games, first against Kamloops on Friday, then to Kelowna on Saturday.
Marcus Lamb made his, excuse me, we've got some other news about our other local hockey team. The Spruce Kings had a rough go of their road trip this past weekend, but one player, Marcus Lamb, found success on the ice. He made his BCHL debut on Family Day on Monday. This is Lamb's first season with the Kings and had been waiting 6 months to get in the spotlight. From being a healthy scratch most games or being the backup goalie on others, the 5'9" goalie from Vancouver finally got the start and he performed well. He came out of his first game with 49 saves against the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, and he's hoping that it showed his team and the staff that he's ready to play some BCHL hockey.
Obviously, there were a couple nerves, but I was just talking to all my coaches when I texted them, and they were all like, you know, you've played, you've done it before, just go out there and play and show them what you can do. Learned lots from the 2 goalies that are here right now, Sandy and Charlie, you know, just learning from them, seeing what adjustments I can make. It really helped, and then just being in practice, all the guys just pushing each other so hard, which just really helped. I'm here to just push everybody and try to get better. If the chance comes again, then great. I'll just play and perform, hopefully.
Lammer deserved that opportunity. He's gotten better just like anyone. You know, his minutes weren't there obviously in the start of the season. He was just getting his feet under him, and he's grown, you know, earned the confidence of our staff and the players to put him in a game, and he performed really well. He made some great saves early in the hockey game. We were up 3-2 with 8 minutes left. He gave us a chance. That's something we've kind of been missing with our goaltending, is we've been you know, not having a chance in the third period because the game's been out of reach, and Lamb gave us every opportunity to win. Unfortunately, we let it slip, but you know, he played really well.
Dunk contests are the best part about the NBA All-Star Weekend, which just passed last weekend. So in honor of that, let's show some perfect score dunks in tonight's CKP3.
Let's start off with the winning dunk from this year's All-Star contest.
Congratulations. And a great move by Alex Martins and that terrific franchise down.
What, he just moved up.
In Orlando. He said he was going to do 2 dunks that we've never seen in the dunk contest. Well, let's see it. But he started up there. He started off on one side. He was much more electric last year because of the surprise.
G-Leaguer Mac McClung, sitting at just over 6'2", jumped over Shaquille O'Neal with a reverse dunk to get a perfect score from the judges and defending his title from last year. Number 15 in purple with an iconic windmill dunk.
Let's go home! Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen! Let's go home! That's called a gainer. I'm expecting...
Potentially one of the best overall performances in a dunk contest ever, Vince Carter scores perfect in the 2000s All-Star contest. Couldn't finish this out with anything other than Michael Jordan's picture-perfect dunk.
Well, the crowd lets you know what they think of it. Now we will wait for the judges.
From the free throw line, this legendary sequence of events takes top spot in tonight's perfect scoring CKP3.
That's all for now, folks. Thanks for joining us as always, and we will see you tomorrow. Have yourselves a great night.